Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and gives this video a thumbs up. Mel Owens, the Golden Bachelor, had certain specific expectations for the women cast in Season 2. They asked me, "What are your preferences?" So I just said 45 to 60, to be honest, Mel, 66, stated during an appearance on John Jansen's podcast on June 4th. We then had lunch with the executive producer. I added, if they're 60 or older, I'll cut them. Mel claimed the executive producer informed him, "Mel, you cannot. This isn't the Silver Bachelor. This is the Golden Bachelor." He says, "But they're going to be heated. Do not worry about it." The former football professional continued, he says, "You can't use the term cut." I say, "Well, that's an NFL term." Mel went on to claim that he knows the women in his season, who have yet to be revealed publicly, are going to be beautiful, but he had no say in choosing them. Mel is also searching for someone who is a lifetime learner who enjoys workout, stay fit, eat, have fun, be energetic, and live life. Mel also discussed how he was cast on The Golden Bachelor on the podcast episode. He explained that a friend insisted on him phoning a phone number that turned out to be the casting department for the show. After speaking with someone in the casting department for an hour, Mel received another phone call a few days later informing him that he had been moved ahead in the casting process. Eventually, he met an executive producer who happened to be a fellow University of Michigan alum. Mel claimed that after a few more weeks of meetings, Golden Bachelor host Jesse Palmer appeared at his home to meet his family and announced that he would be the show's next star. Mel also claimed that during the interview process, someone asked him why he wanted to be on The Golden Bachelor. While life took an unexpected turn with his father's death and the termination of his marriage, the press statement stated, Owens focused his emphasis on becoming the greatest father he could be, raising his sons and coaching their extracurricular sports teams. After several years as a dedicated father, Owens is ready to rediscover a love based on the simple delights of companionship, sharing life's everyday events, making plans for the future, and growing stronger as a couple. As the Golden Bachelor, he hopes to meet someone who shares his vision and finally discover the perfect colleague he's been looking for in his golden years. Mel Owens was never the kind of man to bite his tongue, and even as the second-ever Golden Bachelor, he wasn't about to start now. A former NFL linebacker turned attorney, Mel had built his entire life on discipline, performance, and straight talk. So when producers of The Golden Bachelor Season 2 asked him for his preferences in women, he answered bluntly. They asked me, "What are your preferences?" So I just said 45 to 60, to be honest, he recounted casually on John Jansen's podcast, clearly unaware of the storm he was about to stir. It wasn't just the age range that raised eyebrows. It was the way he described the process. We had lunch with the executive producer. I added, if they're 60 or older, I'll cut them, he said, as if discussing roster moves on an NFL team. The producer's response, trying to tamp down the fire before it ignited, was sharp, "Mel, you cannot. This isn't the Silver Bachelor. This is the Golden Bachelor." Mel had chuckled in the podcast studio, brushing it off. He says, "You can't use the term cut." I say, "Well, that's an NFL term." The clip went viral within hours. Headlines spun across entertainment sites, Golden Bachelor star under fire for ageist remarks. Social media flooded with disapproving reactions from fans of the franchise. Women in their 60s who had found hope in The Golden Bachelor as a rare platform that celebrated season love felt betrayed. After Jerry Turner's widely embraced season, where grace and maturity took center stage, Mel's tone struck a different chord, one that many perceived as crass, dismissive, and deeply ageist. But Mel, ever the unflappable linebacker, wasn't fazed. "Look," he later said in a TV interview, "I have a right to my preferences. I want someone who can keep up. Someone who's a lifetime learner, who works out, stays fit, eats well, has fun, and lives with energy. Is that such a crime? To the producers, this controversy was both a nightmare and a gold mine. The outcry may have been loud, but so were the clicks, the ratings projections, and the debates cropping up on every morning talk show. And Mel's candid nature, while divisive, was proving undeniably compelling. Rose, blindsided by the accusation, opened up. She admitted to misinterpreting a moment with Grant. She thought he had suggested he was thinking about her while dancing with another contestant. Grant, surprised and slightly disappointed, felt the need to hold her accountable. He gently expressed that honesty was paramount to him, and while he didn't fault her confusion, he was unsettled by the misunderstanding. The conversation left Rose emotionally shaken. Feeling isolated and perhaps unjustly judged, she decided to self-eliminate. But was it truly Grant's confrontation that caused her exit? Or was it the cumulative effect of Carolina's manipulations? Many fans blamed Grant, but those paying closer attention saw a man trying to navigate a minefield with empathy, not malice. Carolina's behavior continued to sow discord. She questioned the very foundation of the process, expressing skepticism over the idea that love could blossom in such a controlled environment. While many applauded her candidness, others felt she was simply stirring the pot. Things came to a head when Juliana Pasquarosa, one of the season's quieter but most consistent contestants, confronted Carolina directly. Juliana defended the process, and, by extension, her growing relationship with Grant. The confrontation was brief but potent. Carolina, overwhelmed by emotion, broke down in tears. Once again, Grant found himself in the middle. Rather than ignore the incident or take sides hastily, he sat down with both women separately. His intention was not to shame or blame, but to understand. He cared about Carolina's doubts and respected Juliana's defense of him. These were not the actions of a manipulator. They were the actions of a man who didn't want to hurt anyone. Grant's compassion, while admirable, may have contributed to his downfall in the public eye. Viewers expected clarity. They wanted him to pick a side, to shut down drama quickly. But Grant wasn't built that way. He was a listener, not a commander. And The Bachelor is a role that, more often than not, demands decisiveness. The roughly 8-week filming schedule doesn't allow much time for genuine emotional development. Contestants are expected to fall in love, confront drama, go on adrenaline-pumping dates, and make lifelong commitments, all in under 2 months. For Grant, who thrives on meaningful conversations and long-term connection, the pace was overwhelming. Thanks for watching. If you likes this video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and do not miss any update.